Ladies and gentlemen, friends and writers, researchers, poets, shaires, lovers of art and heritage, good evening. आप सबको आज की शाम में बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। आज की शाम एक खास वजह से रखी गई है। हम सब यहाँ इकट्ठा हुए हैं to celebrate our dear friend Manorama, जो सबके लिए मानो है, and the book that she has co-authored, Ashtanayika. आप माने या ना माने, ये सबके लिए मनवा देती है कि मानो है, तो मानना पड़ता है कि मानो हम सबके लिए। मानो की जर्नी बहुत इंस्पायरिंग है। ओरिया इनकी फर्स्ट लैंग्वेज है, पहली जुबान है, लेकिन इन्होंने अपने प्यार से, अपनी मोहब्बत से हिंदी को खुद पढ़ा और सीखा और समझा, और उसमें लिखना शुरू किया, प्रोज और पोएट्री लिखना शुरू किया उसके अंदर। और आप में से बहुत लोगों ने इनकी हिंदी की कविताएं भी सुनी होंगी और ओरिया की भी कविताएं सुनी होंगी, और आज आपको ट्राइलिंगुअल इंग्लिश में जो आपने किया ट्रांसलेशन वो भी सुनने को मिलेगा। तो जो भी लिखती हैं मानो, शी सीक्स परफेक्शन इन ऑल दैट शी डज, यूजिंग द राइट वर्ड्स, द राइट भाव जो होते हैं वो चाहती हैं कि लिखाई में हो, कविता में हो, शायरी में हो। यही है असली नायिका जो आज के भाव निभाती हैं। पोएट्स हैं, मॉम हैं, वाइफ हैं, मदर हैं, फ्रेंड हैं, नेबर हैं, राइटर हैं, ऑल रोड इन वन, एंड थिंकर हैं, ऑल रोड इन वन। तो आइए थोड़ी सी बात करते हैं इस किताब के बारे में जो हम आज यहाँ लॉन्च हो रही है, अष्टनायिका, द रोमांटिक हेरोइन्स फ्रॉम नाट्य शास्त्र टू मॉडर्निटी। ये कोई काम जो किताब लिखी गई कोई हल्का फुल्का काम नहीं है। 5 साल की गहरी रिसर्च है, इट हैज गॉन इनटू राइटिंग दिस बुक बेसिकली, और जो सारे उसमें कंपोनेंट्स हैं, जो कंटेंट उसका है, उसकी रिसर्च हुई है, वो इन्होंने खुद की है, एंड ऑल दैट यू सी इन दैट बुक इज बेसिकली को-ऑथर्ड बाय आवर डियर मानो। तालियां बजती हैं यार। ये बुक एक नया दरवाजा खोलती है, न्यू डोर, एक ब्रिज है बिटवीन इंडियाज एंशिएंट विजडम and our modern readers, that's we are. And this is not a mere collection of some writings in the past, it is like a reference book, a book that you can use for as a guide, एक गिफ्ट हो सकता है। और हर घर में हम तो समझते हैं कि एक नहीं, कम से कम 2 कॉपीज होनी चाहिए, एक आपके पढ़ने के लिए और एक अगर कोई आ जाए घर में और किताब के पैर आ जाए, वो किताब निकल जाए घर से, तो you have a book for yourself to read as well। तो 2 कॉपियां हर घर में होनी चाहिए इस किताब के लिए। और ये किताब सिर्फ देशियों के लिए, ओनली फॉर इंडियन ऐसा नहीं है। दिस बुक इज फॉर द एंटायर वर्ल्ड टू रीड एंड एंजॉय। जो उसकी रिसर्च हुई है, 5 years ऑफ हेवी, जो आप देखते हैं भास्कर को दुबला पतला, because he did not have the attention of his wife for the last 5 years. She was doing all this research in the book. तो भास्कर, now you will have it to yourself now. और जब कभी आप कहीं जाते हैं इवेंट में, किसी पार्टी में, किसी गैदरिंग में, instead of giving flowers या बुके या कोई मिठाई, रसगुल्ला, चमचम, संदेश, give them this book, a timeless gift of knowledge of the rich traditions of India and the rich writings of India. तो thank you. और चूंकि मैं खड़ा हुआ हूँ, माइक हमारे पास में है और the initial intro has been done, तो 2-4 शेयर भी हो जाए ताकि इस मूड में आप लोग आ जाएं। बहुत लाइट होगा, हिंदी उर्दू में 2-3 शेयर होंगे। किरणा जी बैठी भी हुई हैं, शायरा भी हैं खुद ये, तो एक बहुत लाइट में, आई जीत भाई कम, जीत भाई कम। तो एक शेर ये था कि हम तेरे गम के पास बैठे थे, सुनिएगा हम लोग, हम तेरे गम के पास बैठे थे और दूसरे गम उदास बैठे थे, दूसरे गम उदास बैठे थे। कल रात जब तुम्हारा फोन आया, कल रात जब तुम्हारा फोन आया, तुम हमारे ही पास बैठे थे, और दोस्तों ने हंसा दिया आकर, दोस्तों ने हंसा दिया आकर, अच्छे खासे उदास बैठे थे। और एक और शेर इसका है कि जो स्टूडेंट्स को एंजॉय करेंगे, बस वही इम्तिहान में पास हुए। समय सुनिएगा, बस वही इम्तिहान में पास हुए जो तेरे आसपास बैठे थे। और एक और शेर था, लाइट सा है कि क्या खता मुझसे हुई जो खत का आना बंद है। खत, लेटर्स, पोस्टल मेल। क्या खता मुझसे हुई जो खत का आना बंद है। आप है मुझसे खफा या डाकखाना बंद है। आप है मुझसे खफा या डाकखाना बंद है। और एक और शेर के, इश्क है तो इश्क का इजहार होना चाहिए। इश्क है तो इश्क का इजहार होना चाहिए। आपको चेहरे से भी बीमार होना चाहिए। आपको चेहरे से भी बीमार होना चाहिए। और अपनी यादों से कहो एक दिन की छुट्टी दे हमें। अपनी यादों से कहो एक दिन की छुट्टी दे हमें। इश्क के हिस्से में भी इतवार होना चाहिए। बस दोस्तों, यही थोड़े शेर थे इसमें आज की शाम को शुरू करने के लिए। शब्दों की बात होती है, शब्द होते हैं, आपके दिल जीत लेते हैं। शब्दों से कहानी होती है, आप लिखते हैं, लिखाई आपकी होती है। कभी हंसने हंसाने की होती है, कभी गहराई की होती है। जो बातें मैंने आपसे की ये लाइट थी, हंसने हंसाने की जिंदगी की थी। जो अब आएंगी, मनो आएंगी आपके सामने, ये गहराई की बातें करेंगी। लेकिन इससे पहले कि वो आए, लेट मी कॉल ऑन स्टेज द टू लवली गर्ल्स, मेघा और नेहा को। प्लीज जॉइन अस ऑन स्टेज। So, Megha is an undergrad with a double majors in international development and finance from Washington University in St. Louis, with 4 years of industry experience, and is now heading to the London School of Economics for a master's. So, Megha, on behalf of all of us, say hi to the king. I hope he's doing well. And then we have Neha. Did her undergrad in economics with sustainability and political science for minors from George Washington University in DC, and now she's working in New York, Boston, Washington, New York, the rest of all the world. These are two people who know inside out what that lady is. जो हम माने ना माने, लेकिन ये सबसे जानती हैं हमको क्या है वो। So I'll lead them to talk about the one that they know, the one who's the real आज की नायिका हैं। सारे रोल्स हैं, माँ की, बेटी के, वाइफ के। So they will be going forward and telling you about all those things that that wonderful woman Manu is. Give it up for these two young ladies.
I would also like to provide a translation in English of the shloka my mom just so beautifully sang. We bow in reverence to the eternal supreme Lord of the universe, Sri Jagannath Mahaprabhu, who resides upon the sacred blue hill with Sri Balabhadra Mahaprabhu and Sri Subhadra Mata, ever blessing all of humanity. Okay, so I wanted to take some time to talk about my mom. My sister will as well. There are too many things to say about my mom that it most definitely would not fit in a few minutes here. So instead, I would like to share a conversation I had with her a few years ago. In this story, I'd come home from college after my first year, and I was in the process of unpacking and putting my stuff in the basement for the summer. See, she was annoyed I kept turning on all the lights whenever I went anywhere in the house, and I would forget to turn them off. I said that being in a house again, there's so much space, and I forgot that maybe I was a little scared of the dark and going up and down at night, so I liked having the lights on. She said it was okay to be scared of the dark. She was too, but that is, understandably, no reason to leave all the lights on at home. But more than lights on, I was shocked she was scared of the dark. 18 years of living together, how could I not have known this about my own mom? As a child, I used to hate going into dark rooms or the basement, and I would always ask her to go for me. I thought my mom was invincible and fearless and that she could do anything. When I asked her, however, she had said she had always been scared of the dark, but she didn't want to teach me to be scared of it too. It is already daunting raising your children in a different culture where you don't necessarily have the same experience to fall back on. So instead, she chose to lead by example, by embodying the qualities that I could later take with me, no matter where I was. I continue to reflect on just how present this choice was throughout my life. She encouraged disagreement, and I don't say this in a negative way, because she understood that there isn't always a right answer, that it is important to be fluid and receptive to new perspectives, but also that I should be independent in my thinking. She was fearless and never hesitated, and showed me that if I stay calm and clear my mind, I can always follow my heart and intuition to the best outcome. While my mom is everything I aspire to be, understanding how intentional her choices were, both as a parent and a person navigating life for the first time, exemplified her qualities in a brilliant new light.
While this is something that we have always known about our mom, I feel joy in seeing this shared with the rest of the world. She has always been inquisitive in her desire to understand what is unknown to her, and has always found small ways in which to express herself. This began during 2020 in COVID, when the additional free time away from her busy life created a sustained space in which she could finally explore further what expression really meant to her. What started with creative outlets like journaling or painting turned into full passion projects. Journaling became original poetry, exploring different emotions, that too in 3 different languages. My aunt, or maternal grandmother, used to say that there's a strong value in choosing not to quit, a sentiment my mom shared with us as well. Take everything to the finish line, because you never know what you have not seen. Whether you succeed or fail or learn something new about yourself, you will never know the holistic outcome unless you see it through the end. And now we can see what it truly means to fully commit. Whether it's learning a new medium, writing late into the night, or wrestling with how to best express a feeling, she's always done it with her whole heart. And not only that, as a newcomer, she navigated the world of publishing, working with multiple experts, organizations, and all of these artists to bring this work out to you all today. However, what I find most inspiring is sharing this work, which is such a brave thing to do. Writing is one thing, but putting such an emotional work of labor out into the world, that takes vulnerability. And like everything else that she does, she treats this vulnerability not as a weakness, but as a strength. Her bravery has been a gift to others, to us as her family, and to anyone who picks up this book. It's also a bridge between languages, between history and modernity, between science and storytelling. It has it all. Now, I don't speak a lot of Odia, but even then, the emotions in her words really cut through. And now, with this English translation, her voice becomes even more accessible, and more people can see what we have really always known, that she has something important to say and a beautiful way of saying it. We are so incredibly proud of you, Mama, not just for writing this book, but for doing it your way, with honesty, with heart, and with so much love. Thank you for leading us by example and for being brave enough to share it with the world. And now, I would like to call her on stage.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Adibhai, first, for that generous words. I don't know if I'm all that, but you have put so many words there, really. And also thank you for canceling all your trips to stay for me. That means a lot. And for my daughters, oh my God, I did not hear their voice before. Whatever they were preparing, they were not even at home properly, so I didn't know when they were writing it. Thank you for that heartwarming speech or talk or about Mama, so thank you very much, means a lot. I love you all. September 11th is a date remembered with sorrow, but it also holds another significance I wish to highlight. On this day, in 1893, Swami Vivekananda ji addressed the world's Parliament of Religion in Chicago, introducing Hindu philosophy to the West for the first time. In that same spirit of dialogue and connection, I feel humbled to be launching my co-authored book this evening, one that is in many ways first of its kind. Good evening, everyone. Seeing this room filled with such an inspiring gathering, especially on a weekday evening, I feel truly humbled and honored. Before I came here, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, they all sent their best wishes. I only wish my parents were alive to witness this literary journey. But your presence tonight eases that absence. It reminds me how deeply I'm loved and blessed. My heart is overflowing with gratitude. A special thanks to those who traveled from New Jersey, Chicago, Seattle, New Hampshire. Many of my friends from Connecticut couldn't make it, but they sent their best wishes. They say it takes a village to raise a child, and you are my village. I am the child you have nurtured. Directly or indirectly, you have shaped my journey. So this book is as much yours as it is mine. While there are many more I wish to thank this evening, I would like to begin by reflecting on the journey from idea to printed page and acknowledging a few special individuals who made it possible. To my co-author and mentor, Dr. Choudhury from Bhubaneswar, I will be forever indebted for the literary journey we have shared. Together, we spent countless hours debating interpretations, refining translations, and ensuring historical authenticity while also making the language is accessible to modern readers. His access to rare libraries and his deep command of Sanskrit enriched our research immeasurably. Along with that, finding the right publisher, gathering forewords, and the overall aesthetic look were my sole responsibilities in the making. So I am deeply grateful to experts across diverse fields. They are Padma Bhushan Anupam Kherji, needs no introduction. Dr. Sandhya Purecha, Chairman of the Sangeet Natak Academy. Dr. Harsha Dahejia, whose books we have referred to. Dr. Arjun Purohit, who encouraged us to add a scientific perspective. His Grace Babaji Sarat Sujatananda Das Maharaj, who validated our spiritual interpretations. Sharon Lowen, eminent Odissi exponent. Dr. Kamal Kishore Mishra, head of the Sanskrit Department, Calcutta University. Retired Professor Nirod Mahanti, writer of many books. Srimati Swati Panda, eminent Hindustani classical vocalist. And among them, I am deeply honored to have Mr. Puran Dang, whose inspiring presence today makes this occasion truly special. Thank you, Puran Uncle. I may have reached out to a few of you for referrals, but truth be told, each of these forewords came without influence. That experience deepened my faith in the subject and in sheer hard work. In many ways, this book was carving its own path. Thanks to my publisher, Motilal Banerjee Das in Delhi, a 121-year-old establishment renowned for publishing classics. I thank Sophia Yashmin, Rajesh Mahanti, and Jasvinder Singh for the cover art, concept, and design, respectively. To my close friends, thank you for being my sounding boards, my cheerleaders, and my gentle critics when I needed. To my lovely daughters, thank you for always encouraging me to push my boundaries. And to my husband, your unwavering love and support that given me courage to pursue my dreams. Over the past 29 years, living with you has taught me the true meaning of focus, discipline, and dedication. Thank you for being my mentor in more ways than words can express. Thank you. Now about the book, it's not easy to capture in a nutshell, so thank you for having your patience. Next few minutes may sound like a lecture. This book is a continuation of the journey I began with my first Odia work, Ashtanayika, Tattva Kavita, written under my mentor's guidance. As a newcomer to writing, I did not follow a conventional format. Instead, the book emerged as a unique blend of research and poetry, both original and classic verses. Though the archetypes of the Ashtanayika have echoed through centuries of art and literature, we found no single book in any vernacular language of India dedicated solely to this subject. At my first Odia book launch in Bhubaneswar, nearly 700 people attended, and many later remarked that it was the first of its kind, a true trailblazer. And in that 700, I had exactly 7 relatives. This English version is more than a mere translation. We added what we felt was missing and shaped it into something much more comprehensive and accessible for a global audience. Believe it or not, it all began with my simple quest to know the meaning of one word, Vipralabdha. The rest is now history. Many of you have heard of Navarasa, the 9 permanent emotions we experience among them is Shringara Rasa, the emotion of love and passion. Is considered the Adi Rasa or Rasa Raja, the king of emotions. In the context of the Ashtanayika, romantic love is experienced only when a beloved partner is part of one's life. For those not familiar with Ashta means 8, and Naika we can loosely translate as heroine. Basically, 8 distinct emotional states in which a romantic heroine may be portrayed: yearning, waiting, rejoicing, lamenting, celebrating joy, or confronting betrayal. The concept of Ashtanayika originates in Bharat Muni's Natya Shastra, written sometimes around the same time as Ramayana. Trust me, our research only scratches the surface of this awe-inspiring text. More than a manual of performing arts, it captures every shade of human emotion. Time and again I paused in amazement, wondering how such profound insights could have been written thousands of years ago, yet feel so timeless today. So the credit goes to Bharat Muni. As authors, we claim none. Our role is only to bring these treasures a little closer to modern readers. It is said that when Valmiki, moved by the killing of a pair of croucher birds in union, uttered the first Sanskrit words, Mahanishada Pratishtham Tamagamaha Swasati Samaha Yat Krauncha Mithunadekavavadihi Kamamohitam. Poetry or kavya was born. Kavya is a highly stylized form of poetry which blends the beauty of words, shabda, with meaning, artha, to evoke rasa or aesthetic emotion. It can be enjoyed either by listening or by watching its performance on stage. In the book, you will find brief descriptions of the elements of performing arts as described in Natya Shastra. Naika is one of the elements that we have worked in depth with. Our focus is more specifically the Ashtanayika, the 8 emotional states of a heroine. To understand them, we explored how external stimuli spark both fleeting and lasting emotions. With encouragement from Dr. Arjun Purohit, a clinical psychiatrist who read my Oriya book, we also added a scientific lens, drawing parallels between Jack Panksepp's basic human emotions and the Navarasa described in the Natya Shastra centuries ago. The central theme of the book is Sringar Rasa and the enduring presence of the Ashtanayika, which has shaped our art, culture, and literature for centuries. Here I wish to share a fact about Odissi music. It traces back to Udra Magadhi or Artha Magadhi as mentioned in the Natya Shastra, affirming Odisse's place as a classical heritage alongside Hindustani and Carnatic traditions. Beyond art and culture, the Ashtanayika holds deep spiritual meaning. In the Bhakti era, Vaishnava poets envisioned the soul as the Nayika, longing for union with the divine Nayika, a theme that still echoes in contemporary poetry. The Nayika is Prakriti, nature, the feminine force, while the Nayika is Purusha, that is Chetana or consciousness. It is this feminine force that stirs emotions within consciousness. Hence, Shiva and Shakti are treated as one inseparable unit for creation, and it is said that without Shakti, Shiva is Shava, a lifeless form. In this light, the pain of separation leaves a deeper and more lasting impression than the fleeting pleasure of union. In human forms, when the two energies unite, they give rise to Sringar Rasa, which allows us to experience both joy and sorrow. With supporting poems, paintings, temple sculptures, and ashes, you will see how these archetypes have transcended time. You will also find my humble attempt at translating my original Oriya poems. Proofreading a scholarly work was a daunting task. Despite our best efforts, if a few minor oversights have slipped through, I hope you will forgive us. Now, how is this book relevant today? I think human emotions have not changed, only the ways we express them have changed. The Ashtanayika reminds us that love, longing, joy, and heartbreaks are timeless, universal mirrors of the human soul. I have always cared more for action than for words. Writing theory has little meaning if it does not benefit others. That is why each copy today carries a handmade palm leaf bookmark inspired by the Gita Govinda. The cover art and Patachitra inside were specially commissioned to support artists. At my Oriya book launch, I even sent 2 of my Nayika poems to Odissi Ragas, creating opportunities for performers. I sincerely hope this work inspires artists, scholars, and readers alike to see how timeless concepts can be lived, practiced, and reimagined today. In time, people may not remember its authors, but the subject itself is eternal. Art and literature are not mere legacies of the past, but living companions on our journey. And with that, it is my great joy to present Ashtanayika, the romantic heroines from Natya Shastra to modernity. To unveil the cover, I would like Megha and Neha to escort Purana here. And can you, somebody help this? Aliman, you may just... I would also be honored to invite a few others to join me on stage, whose presence today means a great deal to me. I wish everyone to be here, but let me invite this Panditji, a mentor to many present here. He will come on the stage. Subbu Kottaji, who is from my town in Southborough and has watched me grow over the years. Jeet Saxena ji, you encourage and inspire me. And of course, my big brother, mentor, Prashant Palkarti. And of course, can I have my husband as well to come here? Okay, Puran uncle, can you please uncover the cover, unveil the book? And Kamlesh auntie. Now all of you can open your gift wrap, and thanks to my neighbor Lydia, she just made this perfect gift wrap sleeves. Yesterday late night, I made her awake. Can we take out this and sew the full cover from you? Miss Interview? This will be okay.
Just some of the pictures also. 7-day trip to Hawaii.
Everybody look here.
Please look here.
Well, Manorama, congratulations. Manorama, it's way above my pay grade to comment on the quality of the book or what's inside it, and I will try to read it. But there's something that all of us can take home tonight. We all go through life where we sort of have an inkling, we feel like we are good at something and want to do something, but then we don't have an external validation, we don't have formal training, we don't have certificates and degrees. And most of us go through life without ever doing it. But what's amazing about you is that even though you have no formal training, you felt like you're good at something and you jumped in and you excelled in something like this, which is far superior to most of the people who got their PhD in this art, right? So I think that that's a lesson that all of us will take with us tonight, and thank you for being a role model for us.
Manorama, I just wanted to congratulate you because I can imagine, or maybe I can't even imagine, the effort that has gone into producing something like this. Now, I have not read the book, but I have read something about the book, and I'm intrigued as well as excited about the subject that you have decided to take on. And I'm looking forward to reading it. Again, congratulations. I really admire this.
Manorama, you're my neighbor. That's the only reason I came on the stage. It's not only that. Sapan Bhaskar came to this country. Sapan, can I tell the secret? I sponsored him to bring to this country. But I didn't know at the time Manorama is bringing along. I would have accelerated the process. Thank you all. Wonderful.
Now these are elderly people, I'm not that old. They should go sit down. Because I'm not ready for this mic. You go sit down, legs might hurt, knees might hurt. You might be wondering why I'm on this stage instead of my wife, who's normally behind the mic, and I am sitting like you guys over there. And the reason is we have a family group, WhatsApp group, the Panigrahis and Palakurtis. So we have a WhatsApp group, family WhatsApp group, the Palakurtis and Panigrahis, very long name. But once in that group, she said, would you like to speak? Obviously, she meant her. I jumped in and said, yes, yes, yes. And so she couldn't go back, and that's the reason I'm here. And the second reason Manu shouldn't really be calling me here is because I've known her for almost 30 years. Now and this is during 30 years of ups, downs, of entrepreneurial journeys, of her husband, of mine, of my wife, her children, our children, what have you, right? And so she knows how I am, and despite that, do you think she really asked me to come and speak? That's a mistake, and she's done that, and she's going to pay for this. So normally, at this stage, we have people with the PowerPoints and all, we present like that. But today I don't have anybody. I have two beautiful children to ground me. Just remind me of two things: nays and mountains. Nay, N-A-Y, nays and mountains. I'll forget myself, so Uncle Mountains, okay? So in 1950s, my grandfather told his cousin, don't ever join politics, because that guy wanted to join politics, came for some money. He told him, you will be useless, you are a Brahmin, and so nothing good is going to come out of this. You will fail. So in 1978, when I was going off to college, he said, Prashant, look at what a bad naysayer I was. I said no to this guy, and he's now the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. And by the way, my grandfather died in 1987 of renal failure, but had he lived in 92, he would have died of a heart attack because that guy became the Prime Minister of India. So saying no to a good idea is in my genes. So the next is my father. I start my first company, he says, you will fail. But the good news is I'm a doctor, you can come and live in the village with me when you fail. And it didn't turn out too badly, naysayers, but they mean well, naysayers. And my son this morning, Dad, really you shouldn't be speaking, Mom should be speaking, you don't know how to speak. Naysayers. So when Manu came and told me, I'm going to be a poet, what do you think I would have said? No, Manu, no. You'll be terrible. Because Manu, your poetry is not good, your English is bad. And I said that because she's a fantastic artist. I don't know if you've seen Manu, everything she does is classy. I wanted Manu to be an artist, present her art, and I said, why are you writing? And as you can see, the 4 generations of naysayers, look at, she's done a fantastic job to actually display. Like my grandfather, I'm embarrassed. Congratulations. Second thing is mountains. You didn't say mountains. 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 What happens in a woman's life is that she helps her husband as he's climbing his first mountain. And by the time he's ready, and when he's ready to go retire, when he's off on the second mountain, she finds that little space where she wants to climb her first mountain. At this stage of life, the way she raised the children, beautiful children, the way she made us stick to their culture, the way she's able to pursue her art at the end of that, she's on her first mountain, she always wanted to do this, and this is after Bhaskar finished his first mountain, and he's on the second one. She gave up her life, and this is very close to my heart, because I could be talking of my wife as well, in the same way. And such beautiful children, cultured children. I've seen Manu chase these children to Odissi classes. And they say, oh Mom, I'm tired. No, Odissi. How she kept them rooted. And these are beautiful children. And they're the best children I know, because these are the only 2 girls in our community that don't run away when they see me. They say, oh God, here comes the uncle asking us to get married. Manu, I'm very proud of you. Congratulations, Manu. Thank you guys.
Thank you for
Prashant, I'll go first. I didn't know there was a funny Grahi and Balakruti group chat, and Megha and I would love to be added. But what an insightful presentation by the author. It's always fascinating to hear the stories behind the stories. Knowing the process of creating a book always makes the reading experience much more exciting and meaningful. And thank you all for sharing your reflections about the author. Now, moving on to the next segment of the program, we would like to invite Manish Srivastava to join us. Manishi is a financial consultant by profession, but by passion, he is a published poet, writer, editor, singer, podcast host, and also pursues photography and videography. On behalf of the audience, I warmly invite him to have a conversation with the author about her journey. Please join me in giving him a big round of applause.
Okay,
अकेले में किससे बात करूँ?
This segment is probably the most difficult one. I don't know.
Yeah, difficult
Is
one.
there a better?
हाँ, मेरा left
अच्छा, मेरा पढ़ना नहीं दिखेगा.
Okay. All right. पहले मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा था कि whether should I talk in English or हिंदी. फिर मुझे रियलाइज हुआ कि जितना आपका नाता हिंदी से नया है, मेरा अंग्रेजी से उतना ही नया नाता है. So I chose to speak in English, but still I have written down here on my cue cards. So well, before we start, this is my reflection. This is I want to speak few words about Manorama. I have known her since probably when she hopped on to this writing journey from the very beginning. And what struck me the most was कि इनका जो passion है, जो love है, genuine love to literature is amazing. That was the main thing struck me the most. Also, because I also tried to write something, and what I noticed about Manorama was she is gifted. Probably माँ सरस्वती का वरदान है, इस वजह से आपके पास 5-6 साल आपको हुए लिखते हुए. You have brought this beautiful 2 books, one in Odia, one in English already. And what I feel is कि जो ability है इनकी, जब हम पोइट्री लिखते हैं या किसी काव्य की रचना करते हैं या कोई कहानी लिखते हैं, शॉर्ट स्टोरी लिखते हैं, you have to have thoughts. To me, पोइट्री की जो ग्रामर है, जो लिंग्विस्टिक्स है, that is second thing. The first thing is thought. So she chases her thoughts, captures them, and then bring them to life on paper so beautifully. And also, not in one, as everyone has said, 3 different languages: Angrezi, Odia, and Hindi. So I think she deserves this, and I really admire you for that. And I also admire you for the fact that as a citizen you inspire me by the philanthropic work you do with Vision Aid, एकल विद्यालय और बहुत सारे organizations हैं यहाँ पर. So congratulations on your book.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for all those beautiful words.
So सबसे पहला जो मेरा सवाल है मनोरमा आपसे वो ये है कि how does it feel to launch Ashtanayika and share to the world specifically ये audience which is so close to your heart?
It is. Thank you for your beautiful words for me first. You have been part of my journey. You are a cheerleader for me. Sounding board, whatever I can say. Sharing this book, definitely I feel both humbling and overwhelming. Humbling because, I found my passion for writing much later in my life. And I would say second act of my life, and I do give credit to the first act of my life because words do follow experience. So I lived my experiences, now that they are coming. So definitely it was, and most of you are directly, indirectly part of my journey in some way or other. So I do feel like, definitely special to have this book launch. When I did my Odia book launch in India, I had literally 7 people in that 700 audience who were my relative. So after that, 2 days probably I spent crying in the hotel. So today I will feel very happy, even if cries will be 8 tears of joy. So that's why I'm humble. Overwhelming because, after so much of research, what I felt, one thing I felt for sure that I know nothing. So that's why I feel overwhelmed. I don't know if that answered your question.
No, that absolutely. And it takes a lot of courage to say that, right? As a published author now, and you are telling them.
I have to practice that I'm an author.
So you began your journey back in 2019, not long ago, and you were a homemaker almost all your life until then. And ये जो homemaker से poet author का जो transition था, how did it happen?
It's a good question. There is no straight answer. First chapter of my life, first or second, third chapter, whatever it was like, I took parenting as my job. I raised my kids. I was a wife, mother, homemaker. But as soon as kids left for college, I started feeling like, what is my purpose now? Growing up, art and literature were valued in my family. My father always believed in art as companion of life. Mother thought literature is important because history shapes our future. So those were there. But at the same time, nobody in the immediate family were writing. But I was told both sides, my grandparents, great-grandparents were poets. One was writing for Devi, so in her praise he wrote many compositions. Other great grandparent, he was a West White, he wrote for Krishna. So I sometimes believe souls, unfulfilled desires of souls may be carried through generations. Maybe they are expressing through me, who knows, many of my poems does reflect Krishna or feminine voice. So those are, there are multi-layer answer to this question. I don't know how I jumped here. Pandemic has a role to do it. That's when when we started doing inward journey. That's when I felt God must have created me for some purpose. I'm not sitting at home doing nothing while kids are gone. I asked for a job to Bhaskar. He said, oh, I can maybe give you just accounting. I said, you know very well that I don't like numbers. So, so after that, during pandemic, I cut down from social interactions a lot. That's when slowly, probably writing path chose me. I didn't know. I don't know what I'm destined for, but I'm enjoying my journey.
So you said you started back in 2019. Pandemic helped you. You have not been trained in linguistics, and I know that you have been mentored by a few people in the community and beyond. Would you like to share some insights about them and who were they and how they helped you?
Oh, this is a long answer, okay? So, as I said, you are the village, I am the child you have nurtured. First thing, I would give a lot of credit to Neeraj Chandraji. He was Bhaskar's advisor. Whenever I met him, he would enjoy discussions, everything other than number, he will talk with me, all the art and culture, books, everything. Then at one party, he recited a poem in our home, and it was very beautiful. The next day, I wrote a thanks note. I scribbled a few lines in Hindi. And he said, oh, you are a poet. मैंने कहा, नहीं, I'm not a poet. He said, no, you are a poet. People don't write just like that. You must write. Believe in yourself. So he said, he showed me the path. Believe in yourself. Few months later, Chandu Bhai invited me to recite the poetry in his backyard party. I told him, Chandu Bhai, I just scribble a little bit, that doesn't mean I'm a poet. He said, in my 40 years career, I have seen either poets are born or not. So you are a poet, believe in yourself. He showed me how to walk on the path. Few months later, pandemic happened. My friend here, Manisha Jain, she started so weak here. I did about 2,700 masks for that, within 9 weeks or so. And doing that, you need focus, dedication, concentration. You're battling with so much of depression, listening to lonely, sad stories that time and all. So definitely it helped me go inward. Well, that time I wrote some Facebook posts. And Manju said, I would like to give her credit. I don't know if this is here. She said, Manu, you should be writing an article in Women Who Win. And I said, Manjuji, I don't know what to write. She said, believe in yourself because your words have truth in them to inspire others. So she said again, believe in yourself. Few months later, unfortunately, Neeraj passed all of a sudden. So that shock was very profound. I wrote a post on my Facebook. Upendraji, he reached out to me. He did see Manjuji, Upendraji, they didn't know me that time, and he reached out saying, "Can I publish this in India, New England?" I would say that was Neeraj's parting gift to me, introducing me to the world as a writer. And this time, I started to believe in myself. And during pandemic also, I got exposed to Odia poets. One of my friends, he couldn't make it today. She hosts this Zoom meets for over 12 years, every month, once a month. And we log in and participate. So through her, I got to know many Odia poets in US and in Canada. And that made path for me to get connected with my mentor in Odisha, Dr. Choudhury. I will also give credit to Dr. Vijay Mishra, who couldn't be here today but sent his best wishes. He said he runs this Sapne, and I met you there also. This Sapne is South Asian Poets of New England. They host quarterly for multilingual poets. This time I felt confident reciting my Odia poem to non-Odia crowd. So he also said, and he emphasizes how dhwani is important. Not the language, how you present, how the tone, and that connects to heart, and then people think what the meaning of the word. Other than that, I was my fellow poets like, Parveen, Poppy, Sunena, many couldn't make it. Some are here, and you, Manish, Chanchila, I don't know. There are many. There is Vijay Mausi, there is one Odia poet here, I think. So many of them inspired. Their journey also inspired me. Beyond that, I would say many of you sitting here are indirectly shaping me. Trust me, I have so much stage fright. Probably cried many things. Prashant, probably the right person to know how much I cried. But today, if I have got courage to be here because I have observed you closely, admired you silently, and learned from you to present myself here today. So you are my village, and I'm the child you have raised. So every appreciation kind of gave me confidence. Every gentle critic made me a better version of myself. So thanks to all of you.
One thing I must say, I think I've spoken about it at multiple forums. I've spent some time in New Jersey, many years, but जो cultural richness मुझे अपने न्यू इन Boston Indian community में जो मुझे मिलती है, I have not seen that anywhere in the US. People are so talented, whether it's a field of arts, music, literature. It's so rich. Our community is so rich, and I think you should,
give a big round of applause to yourself.
एक और क्वेश्चन मेरा ये था कि अब बात करते हैं किताब की. You were talking about, I was listening about the rasas. श्रृंगार के कई रूप हो सकते हैं. Not only affection between opposite sex. It could be vira. It could be many things. Now, why did you choose? And I have noticed almost 90%. She has written at least 100 in Hindi, 100 in Odia, and numerous poems in English. I have read almost all of her Hindi poems. I don't think मैंने उसका 50% we can't hear. So, awesome job. So why did you choose this subject? Why did you stay to Shringar? Why did you stay to this topic, Natya Shastra?
Honestly, I did not choose. I wrote a poem. As I said, it all started with the one word, Vipralabdha. One Odia poem I wrote. I asked my mentor, the poem looks okay. What should I name it? He said, oh, you give it Vipralabdha. I said, what does that mean? He said, oh, go dig in, find the meaning of Ashtanayika. So that's where it started. Then slowly, other poems also emerged as different bhav of Naika. So once I wrote about 8 poems in classical meter, then he asked, oh, write in contemporary language, because the Naikas are there today also. They are not only classical Radha and all. Everybody is a Naika now. So I wrote another 16. Then I said, oh, can I publish a book? Because there are so many people publishing, it would be nice if I have a book. He said, no, you don't publish your first book, poetry, first of all. Because it may give you personal satisfaction, but it is not going to help anybody. So if you have written so many poems, why don't you do more research on this topic? And maybe later, if you get enough material, you collect them and then publish a book. That's how Ashtanayika Tattva Kavita, like this book, came to exist. And when I came back to Boston, many of you here said, oh, you should translate it. You use ChatGPT and translate it. It will be good, others should know it. I said, no, you can't just translate with ChatGPT the Natya Shastra terminology. They're very difficult. So that's where I started, slowly. Then I said, I need editor, I need mentor. Then my mentor joined as a co-author. We started researching and dropping out some material, adding more research. That's when this book came. So the book found me. I did not find it.
Now, I go back to my original question. So, romantic love, Shringar ka jo form hai, romantic love. How does it connect beyond that to the larger audience?
How? I don't know, how do I say that? Shringar is all the time, I think it's a romantic thing, but it is not, it's much more than that. It is like, Shringar Bhakti can be. Shringar can be in 3 phases we experience in our life: Rati, Preeti, and Bhakti. Rati is more like when the physical attraction. Preeti stage is more like physical and emotional. But once you graduate from that stage, it goes towards Bhakti. Because we are never satisfied with what we get, then you start looking for more. Eventually you will find you are the soul, you are the Naika who's searching for God, who is the Naika. So definitely it's not only limited to romantic love, and romantic love also you can experience in 2 ways, in union and in separation. Milan mein aapko it stays, happiness is short-lived. It doesn't stay that longer. And viraha goes much longer. So
yeah, thank you. So you started writing poetry first, and then you came to this. You did not publish your poetry first, but you published that. Did your poetic understanding and your ability influence this book?
Probably yes. Many of you who read my blogs, they think they read like poetry. So I don't know. Probably it is definitely there. I simply follow my thoughts. Words follow thoughts. And actually I want to give Kiran Nathji, I would like to acknowledge her, because when I started writing in early, I told her, Kiranji, I don't know in which language to write, and she would say, follow your thoughts. If the thought comes in whatever language, the first line, that piece of writing should be in that language. So I simply follow my heart. I believe in simplicity, I believe in Albert Einstein said, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, or even Leonardo da Vinci said that. And I share birthday with him. So maybe, and also I share birthday with Amir Khan, who is a perfectionist. So that's how, like, I write very simple language, but particularly this book may not look very simple because of the research topic, but we tried our best to make it user-friendly with the poetry, with the reflections added to that.
And I can क्या कहना चाहिए मैं ये बोल सकता हूँ because I was talking to someone in Odisha and इनका एक गाना है मल्हार और वो गाना मैंने किसी को सुनाया and that person said that उड़िया में इतनी अच्छी language इतना richness of language में इस तरीके से compose करना they have not seen. So that's a compliment for you.
Thank you.
सब लोग मेरे इस गड्डी की तरफ देख रहे हैं बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है it's just last two questions. So how do you see this book beyond being used in colleges and universities or
I will quote somebody in the book we have written Vishnu Dharmottara Puran. In there one disciple comes to a teacher and saying like the disciple wants to learn painting. The teacher says, why don't you go learn dance and music first, then you come back. Because if you don't know the bhav, if you don't know how the music or like dancers' postures and all, how will you draw? So having said that, I think this book can be used by many art streams as a reference book. It can also be a good reference book for Indic studies. If it makes it to any university, I'll be very happy. We tried our best. And because I think brain is wired to do for any artist to be proficient in multiple streams. We have many examples here. Poppy hai, Sudha hai, Parvin hai, you are there. Many of them are accomplished artists in multi fields. So,
thank you, and I think I agree with that. Last question. So what do you hope the young readers specifically and the college students and researchers will take away from this book?
We have added a scientific perspective in the book. If young readers connect with that, they may like to come back to the Natya Shastra rasa theory, and hopefully they will understand their own relationships better, their own emotions better. So I'm hopeful it will be useful to them.
Thank you, Manorama, and once again, my heartiest congratulations.
Thank you.
बधाई आपको, आपके परिवार को बहुत बधाई और इस पूरी कम्युनिटी को बहुत बधाई कि एक ऐसी किताब हमारे बीच में आई है जो हमारे बीच में से ही किसी ने एक जैसा नहीं कि सीप से मोती निकाल के रख दिया है. अब ये आप लोगों की जिम्मेदारी है कि इस मोती से माला बनाएं या उसकी बालियाँ बनाएं या जो भी करें, लेकिन I think I will just stop here. नहीं तो मैं बोलते ही चला जाऊँगा. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So Manorama, please. Would you like to read a poem? And
Manisha told me I must recite one of my poems. Then I decided I will recite one of my Odia poem, and I will have Megha to read the translation. There are a couple of reasons, because I will not get this captive audience to showcase the lyrical beauty of Odia language. So I chose to do that. I will do the Basak Sajjika Naika, the Naika who is she's eagerly waiting for her beloved in her bed chamber in anticipation of union. She's done all her sola shringar. In my poem, it is like Radha asking her Sakhis, can you just check, make sure I look perfect for this union. And pay attention to the Odia language, even if you don't understand the alliteration, the rhyming words, they are all you would, I hope you will enjoy it. Maybe. Milanara Tithiyaji, ए पूर्णमी रातिरे कृष्ण आसुथिबे खोजी कुंजे मोर सधीरे सखिया गो विशाखा प्रिय लागी तरथप हृद मोर अधीरे कुरुणी मो मन आजी आलिंगन आशारे जुड़ुबुड़ु मन मोर प्रीति मधुस्मृति रे आगो सखी ललिता लागे ना मो पाद आजी ए धरणी बुकुरे हलदी ओ चंदन रे माजी थिरी शरीर मलिन मु दिसुनी तो देखाओ गो मुकुर गो सखी चित्र लेखा ढाड़ी दियो मो अंगरे सुवासित अतर रिठा शिखा गाई जड़ी सकाळु मु हकाळी मुकुला केश कलाप गंध धूपे पखाळी रखीछि सखी श्वेता कौरवी भिजा तेले जुड़ा दियो सजाड़ी चलो चलो चंचल गो पाद मोर चपल चलो चलो चंचल गो पाद मोर चपल फुली मंडी दियो गभा लागे बड़ अधीर सखी चंपक लता लाजे अल्प चुमुथाऊ अलक मो कपल सुगंधित वन फूल गुंथहार सुंदर से फूल गंधरे प्रिय मच्ची हेब विभोर सखी गो तुंग विद्या प्रिय मोर चाहे नहीं कनकर श्रृंगार रेशमी नाली कांचुली भिड़ी दियो छाती रे नील उत्तरीय मुग ओढ़ी निये मथारे सखी गो इंदु लेखा मोहन केलती चिंती जाए सरी लज्जारे पादे मोर रक्त जबा आंखी दियो अलता बधुली अधर मोर हेउ अरुणायिता आगो सखी सुदेवी कज्जଳରେ लांजी टाण आखि धार भूलता पादरे नुपुर दियो कटिरे मो कंकण पछु आसी श्याम कले बाहु भिड़ी चुंबर सखी गो रंग देवी इसिकारे करी बसे लुणु छोड़ गुंजर गुंजर लांजिका रखी मंजू जरी पंजरे ख्यारक मंजरी देई सच्चा कर गुंजरे सखी गो अरुणधा मोहन मोहिबे आजी राति रति रसरे मोहन मोहिबे आजी राति रति रसरे प्रति जुगे नारी हृदय राधा मन बिंबित प्रलयर तृष्णा नेई हुए सिए सज्जित लज्जानत मथारे नीरपरे देई जाए प्रणयर इंगित. So this poem is, if you hear some of the words sounding like Hindi or Sanskrit, that means its meaning is also same, because Odia is a akaranta sabda, they don't have halant in it. So, but English do not have enough words to translate exactly, but I've tried to capture the essence.
An auspicious time as stars align on this full moon night. Krishna must be coming, searching for me in the grove site. Oh dear Sakhi Visakha, my heart trembles, longing for the joy of our destined meet. My heart spins today in anticipation of a tender embrace. Saturated in love, it weaves sweet memories at a steady pace. Oh dear Sakhi Lalita, my feet barely touch the ground, drunk on joy's soft trace. Though I already showered with turmeric and sandalwood, could you show me a mirror to ensure I look as I should? Oh dear Sakhi Chitralekha, pour sweet fragrant potions on my body, make me feel good. I rinsed with Rita and Sikakai in the morning light. Open my long hair locks, treated with fragrance so ripe. Oh dear Sakhi Sweta, please apply Goravi flower oil and set my bun right. My feet tap around, a restless sound. Adorn my hair with flowers, grace unbound. Oh dear Sakhi Jampakalata, let my loose hair locks kiss my cheeks, delicate ground. The fragrant forest blooms, a pretty garland I've woven with care. In its scented essence, my beloved will find my beauty rare. Oh dear Sakhi Tungavidya, my beloved prefers simplicity, not adorned with gold's glare. Please tie this silky red blouse around my chest. With the pretty blue scarf on my head, I feel so blushed. Oh dear Sakhi Indulekha, the thought of Mohana making love, I get shy, a secret caressed. Apply the vermilion-colored alatha on my feet's curve. My babuli-covered lips are already in crave. O Saki Sudevi, with coal-lined eyes, let my gaze speak a silent reserve. Please adorn my arms with bangles and ankles with anklets. From behind, when wrapped with arms, Syama will bestow kisses. O Saki Rangadevi, in the language of love, let their tinkles resonate in blissful trances. Place the fireflies in a clear glass jar to glow in the cove. Sprinkle fragrant flower buds, make a bed in the grove. Oh dear Saki Anuradha, tonight let me allow Mohan to whisper the language of love. In every woman, Radha's essence prevails. In every age, with the yearning for love she entails. Embraced by graceful shyness, she implies, silently, the song of love in unspoken vibes.
Thank you, Neha. Hope you all enjoy. After this, I would like to invite actually Lalitji. He's the only one who read the book, so I hope he will endorse it.
So this was a revelation to me when I read the book, because it exposed the exquisite excellence of the Indian culture from many thousands of years. But before discussing the book, I'd like to share a few thoughts about Manorama. I know Ali Bhai has done full justice to it, and everybody else who was standing before me talked about Manorama. But let me share my personal views on it. If you go to her website, which is very, very interesting, and I think I encourage everyone to go there, it starts with the sentence, "Come into my world of words, where emotions unfold with every story shared. I look at the complexity of life through a lens of simplicity." She's a writer, she's a storyteller, she's a lyricist, she's a poet, she's a philanthropist, evangelist, homemaker, par excellence. Everything she does is super. And I think some people before, I know Desh had mentioned all the things that even without training, you created this thing, super piece of work. She gives back to society through her keen insights into human nature, emotions, needs, and with the compassion for the underprivileged. True to her words, this book is just another example of where all the proceeds of the book will go to help the charity of your choice. So once again, our book has a very meaningful purpose. Now, to begin with, Ashtanayika exposed me to another underappreciated dimension of the brilliance of India, of Bharat. Its excellence in culture and arts, beyond the well-known genius and contribution that India has made, and everybody knows its contributions to astronomy, mathematics, medicine, sciences, governance and administrative processes, aspects through Shastra, and there are a lot of people, the experts, there Balbiji, who is an expert on Shastra. If you want to know how the governance worked 2,300 years ago, please talk to him. And all the linguistic trailblazing efforts, poetics, prosody of Panini and Pingler and more. But not many people are familiar with what she has exposed with this book. Bharat Muni's seminal treatise, Natya Shastra, also known as the Fifth Veda. I don't think anybody heard about anything called Fifth Veda. This was indeed the Fifth Veda. Used the foundational teachings of the four Vedas with an overarching aim to use the medium of art and culture to aid the promotion of virtue, proper behavior, ethical, moral fortitude, courage, love, and adoration of the divine. So there was a purpose behind arts, and that is what the whole book is all about. it took the arts as a medium to bring all the virtues that we know in the first four Vedas. When Bharat Muni wrote the seminal treatise, Natya Shastra, he could not have imagined that 2300 years later, the two people, Manorama and Jaya Krishna, will do justice to their work to demonstrate the impact of Bharat's expansive work on poetry, music, dance, drama, paintings in the following 2000 years. They used the Ashtanayika as an example to describe all the work, whether it's paintings or sculptures or dance or literature. Everything was basically used this as an archetype. Now, they have done an outstanding job of not only capturing all the things that you read about Natya Shastra is broken into bits and pieces. She has 100 references, but every reference does not tell the whole story. For this time, the Ashtanayika is the first time that when you read it, that you find the true story of where it started, who were the influences, and all the way down to modern times. Its uniqueness, in my view, lies in its being a one-stop source that puts the context of interrelationships and excellence of all forms of art. Many times we have seen paintings, we have seen sculptures in the temples, we have seen many other things, we have seen many kind of figurines, but never realized that they were all interrelated and every single thing was influenced by the same source, the original work of Bharat Muni. For the first time, at least to me, I started understanding the collaborative work of art of all regions of India. Sometimes people feel, how does everything from north, south, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, wherever you look, they all look sort of familiar. They have familiar paintings, familiar sculptures, and the reason is that the book by Bharat Muni was this seminal source which encouraged everyone to create all these things. And that's why you see the cultural influence and collaboration all across India. The genesis was the Natya Shastra, and that's what you cover. So I highly recommend everyone to read the book. Please look at not the words, but the spiritual context of everything. And I think the poem that you read was just one example. Also read the preface and the comments of the experts. I think please don't skip it if you read it, because that sets the whole context of the book. So once again, Manorama, thank you very much for writing this book and creating a new awareness of the richness of the culture of India. We all know about everything else. This is the first time we know a new dimension of India. So this is a very valuable contribution that you have made to the society, not only Indian society, but rest of the world, to see how cultures is also part of India starting 2,300 years or longer ago. Thank you very much, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak here in front of all the people. And thank you very much for coming, and have a good day. But please read it.
Thank you, Lalishji. Thank you for endorsing my work. And there is a reason I chose you, because I know you will read it fully and do justice. I think we are almost coming closer to end. 2 दिन पहले I just wrote a couplet. जरा सी कलम में सरगोशी क्या हुई, आज महफिल सजाने की तमन्ना हुई. जरा सी कलम में सरगोशी क्या हुई, आज महफिल सजाने की तमन्ना हुई. मेरे कलाम में कलाम के वजन का तो पता नहीं, मगर आपकी मौजूदगी से मेरी पहचान अदा हुई. Thank you very much. before, I will just also ask Bhaskar to come up and acknowledge few people. Before that, I also want to acknowledge a few. Hetal and Java Joshi for this beautiful venue. Tavi for this elegant decorations. Manas Sahu from the curry house for the delicious food. Ali Bhai for your amazing anchoring and logistics help. My neighbor Lydia who did this gift wrapping, which was perfect. I was perfectionist, is beyond one notch above that. A big shout out to my daughter's friends, Exa and Elena, for helping me with the desk, book selling. I hope they are doing a good job. Loads of love to my youngest two young ladies, Megha and Neha, for encouraging me for all the time. Alak Niranjan from Big Short for capturing the memories. Manish for anything and everything I wished for. He said, okay, I'll make it happen. So thank you very much. Did I miss anybody? And to my dear, and to my sisters, Revati and Manisha Jain. Thank you so much for my helping with logistics and hospitality. I was getting overwhelmed for sure. Thank you. My brother and sister-in-law Mahesh and Rashmi for hauling things to the hall. I don't want to mess, but last but not the least, to my husband. Thank you for loving me enough. Because of, thank you for all the, I don't know how do I say thanks to you. Thank you very much. You just come thank everybody else. Come here, join me. Because you let me be who I am, that is a big thing. So.
Thanks for coming. How was it? Did they do a good job? So, you did a good job. 10 minutes late. So let's wrap it up. Thanks for coming, and cannot be more proud what she has done for the last couple of years. I'm a numbers guy. This was a wake-up call that is a lot more than numbers, literature. And that made me a better person as I was appreciating the literature and the writing, seeing the passion, seeing the focus. So thank you for standing by here, what an intellectual crowd here to support and the work she has done for the last 5 years. Those who come a little late, let's go out, have some food, and stay here for some group pictures, group memories. We'll take it home. And have a lovely evening. Thank you.
Any final words? If I wants to close it, or we will just have some pictures.
So all things have been done. I think it was a wonderful evening. Thank you for coming, all of you. And please, one round of applause again for our poetess, our thinker, writer, and the great man behind her, and the two kids there. If you have not taken your books, please buy your books. There are some books available. Venmo, cash, check, Goodwill, all will work. And then have it signed and come here for pictures.